Angie from Canterbury Trails Farm. Today we're in the kitchen canning dried black beans. Now, I know there are many ways to do this, and lots of people have different recipes with different seasonings and different methods. My favorite way is just to do black beans, just plain black beans. I don't know if it's because we live in Texas or the Southwest or whatever, but I use a lot of black beans in a lot of different recipes. And buying cans of black beans already canned for you can get a little pricey. I can usually find them on sale for about 79 to 99 cents a can. They can go up higher than $1.29 a can, and that's like a 15-ounce can of beans. And part of that is water. So you're not getting a good value as far as I'm concerned. You can get a full 16-ounce bag of dried beans for anywhere from 89 to 99 cents. 4 pints of beans out of one bag of dried beans. So for 99 cents and 4 cans or 4 jars, that comes out to about $1/4 a jar, opposed to $1.29 a jar if I buy them already done for me. Why the discrepancy? Well, because if you buy canned beans, the work has already been done for you. They've been soaked and they've been processed and they're already done. If you dry the dry beans, theoretically you have to do more work. Now, the USDA suggests that you soak your beans overnight. That's to allow for expansion. And when I do pork and beans, I do that because I like to add tomatoes and other ham or bacon and other spices. But for my black beans, I'm doing them straight. I don't use salt and I don't use spices. Now, you can use a teaspoon of salt per pint. You can use a teaspoon of taco seasonings or chipotle seasonings or just chili powder, whatever you would like. You can also add some jalapenos if you'd like, but I like to do just straight black beans. Using straight black beans allows me to add them to any recipe without altering the flavor of my recipe. So this method, and this has been a method that's been used by many women for a long time, is, like I said, it's not USDA approved. So if you're very concerned about that, I don't suggest that you use this method. For me, it works. So this is what I do. You can use any kind of beans. Don't do this with lentils though. So we are going to be pressure canning the beans. So first of all, what I've done is I've sterilized my jars. I also have a kettle of boiling water. This is what all that's going in my beans is. I'm going to be putting a 1/2 cup dried beans per pint, and I'm going to be filling it with boiling water up to headspace. An inch is easy to do. Just usually it's at the top of your index finger from that first joint, or it's just the top threads of your jar. If you want to get very precise, you can always get a ruler out. My jars have been sterilizing, so I'm going to get them out. I've gone ahead and poured my black beans into a bowl just for easier access there. And we're going to be pressure canning pints for 10 pounds of pressure for 75 minutes. If you're doing quarts, it's going to be 10 pounds of pressure for 90 minutes. Obviously, if you live in a higher elevation, you'll need to consult your ball handbook or whatever handbook you choose to use for your canning to adjust your pressure. And my lids, my jar lids are simmering in hot water. Okay, so I have my hot jars. I'm going to put 1/2 cup of dried black beans into each jar. The reason why you want to leave, you only want a half cup beans is because these beans will expand. A clean dish towel. And even though I don't really have anything that got on anything, because I'm not using any ingredients except for dried beans, I'm still going to go around the tops of my jars just to make sure there's nothing on there. Stir them on just fingertip. It means I don't want to crank them down. This is so your jars can form a vacuum. Okay, I'm going to set these down in my canner. Always want to make sure you have the inset that came with the canner in the canner because your jars cannot touch the bottom. I have my 7 pints in there. I'm going to put that lid on. Now my lid has like a marker. When you press your can, you want to close it up, one on each side, the opposite sides, and screw it. On mine, you screw it down. Yours might be different. I prefer the All-American because there's no gasket to mess with. Okay. I always check my vent pipe. I have a little cleaner that sticks up in there, a little stick. Okay. As soon as I see steam, I'm going to put a timer on for 7 minutes, and I'm going to allow it to let the steam escape for 7 minutes. During that time, pressure will start building. I have a gauge. Minutes have passed, and my pressure canner was expelling steam. Now I have put my 10-pound weight onto my vent, and I'm waiting for my pressure gauge to register 10 pounds. At that point, I want to listen for 1 to 4 jiggles per minute. Now this takes a long time usually to get it regulated. I sort of know where to turn it on my dial on my stove, that it will keep it about 1 to 4 jiggles. So it takes a while for you to get used to your equipment and to know sort of about where you need to keep it turned to. Once it reaches 10 pounds, I'm going to start my timer for 75 minutes because I'm doing pints. If you're doing quarts, you want 10 pounds for 90 minutes. If you even have 1 quart in there and the rest are pints, you have to do the quart time. So I like to keep either all quarts or all pints. So if you're doing pints, it's 10 pounds for 75 minutes. My pressure canner has now hit 10 pounds. And I'm waiting for the first jiggle, and then I'm going to hit my timer for 75 minutes. I have hit my timer for 75 minutes. I know I need to turn my burner down, so I sort of know where I need to put it. And I want that jiggle to sort of dissipate. This is more than a jiggle. So you need to keep doing it until you get it down to just a jiggle and a stop. Jiggle and a stop. And you want no more than 4 jiggles per minute. It's going to let you hear and watch the jiggles so you sort of know what I'm talking about. We're now on the 1 minute count. I'm waiting for jiggle 1. That's 1. That's 2, and that was the end of my 1 minute. So I've got it down to 1 to 2 jiggles. So I wanted you to hear what a jiggle sounds like. just in case. And also I might note that when you're first letting the steam spew out of your vent before you put your weight on, it is normal for water, little droplets of water to shoot out from both your vent and from your safety plug. I'm going to show you the safety plug on the All-American canner, and I have a model 910. There's just that little black rubber safety plug, and I check that every few months to make sure it's still pliable. I keep a spare, it just pops out. What will happen is if excessive pressure ever builds in that little rubber thing will blow out. You know you better turn your thing off at that point. Do not open it, just turn it off and let everything do what it needs to do. So that's what I wanted you to hear, the jiggles, and so you know what it sounds like. And there you go. And so I'll be back to talk with you in about 75 minutes. Now we're back. My 75 minutes is up. I have turned off my pressure canner, and what I'm going to do is I need to wait for it all by itself, not doing anything to it, just turn off the burner. I'm going to wait for it to register 0 on my gauge. When it registers 0 on my gauge, I will then remove my weight, and then I will open my canner and remove my jars. Do not try to hasten this process any. It usually takes about 15 to 20 minutes for it to reach 0. At this point, it's turned off, it's safe. Just leave your weight on, get a cup of coffee, get your stuff ready for your next batch if you have one. Hi y'all, we're back, and they are all popping. You can see them boiling, and a lot of them are popping there. That's good. Remember, some of my jars were the darker purple and blue, so that's why some of them look darker than others. So there they all are. And I'm getting ready to do a second batch. And but I just wanted to let you see how easy and fun it is to do these black beans. And it gives me quite a significant savings, which is 25 cents a pint jar. So I hope you enjoyed canning beans with me today. Bye.